It was Mahatma Gandhi who said, if there's an idiot in power, it means those who elected him are well represented. I don't know how many of you watched the 2024 Democratic National Congress in the US, where Kamala Harris officially emerged as the presidential candidate of the Democratic Party in the forthcoming US presidential elections. It was an amazing couple of days just watching speaker after speaker extol the qualities of Kamala Harris and her running mate Tim Walz. One thing that stood out for me was the emphasis placed on their roots, their average or middle class background, their service to their communities. Harris has noted in the past and now in campaign ads that she worked a summer job at McDonald's in her late teens, between her freshman and sophomore years at Howard University in Washington, D.C. Her early job is a common one among Americans, according to data from the chain, which says 1 out of every 8 Americans has worked at McDonald's. 1 out of every 8 Americans has worked at the biggest fast food chain in the world, and they are proud of it. Harris and Walz have pointed out that their working class roots are in sharp contrast to former President Donald Trump's much wealthier upbringing. Their working class background is a selling point because they want the voters to know that they have the same background with them, that they know what their issues are, having passed through that road, that they emerge from obscurity to prominence, but they will never forget those who they left there. This is what's important to the American voter: hard work, family values, and service. Guess what? The McDonald's connection also extends to second gentleman and Kamala's husband, Doug Emhoff, who not only worked there, but also was named Employee of the Month, which he proudly recounted to the convention crowd, telling how the experience had helped shape his career. He said he waited tables, packed cars, and was working full-time so he could afford to go to college part-time. Americans can't get enough of this middle-class background story. They can't get enough of the McDonald's background, which is why it's now part of her campaign ads. Now, I want us to contrast this with our situation here in Nigeria. What exactly do we look for in leaders? What is the value system we all hold here? What is the Nigerian dream? What drives us as a people daily? Do you know what it is? Money. Yep. Money, 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 and more money. This is why some parents pay for their kids to go to Yahoo camps to learn fraud. This is why some parents are okay with their daughters selling their bodies. This is why fraud, kidnapping, and murder are commonplace in our society today. Young boys with no demonstrable means of livelihood are spending millions in clubs, hotels, and parties, and we are hailing them. They have the most followers on social media. We even criticize the EFCC for arresting them. They are our children. Leave them alone, we say. After all, the politicians are stealing their own. We promote and protect evil all because of money. And then tomorrow we complain about those who lead us. Leaders must be like their followers, not so? Our leaders emerge from amongst us. They are us and we are them. We have abandoned the value system our forefathers lived by. The end justifies the means is our new value system. Get money by any means necessary is our new value system. Money is now scattering families and marriages. Money is scattering communities. Is it any wonder our president was reported to have said to some emirs that he bought his office? Please, let's get real with ourselves. We all want to jump out to America and other countries that are working, but we forget they are working because their societies are built on solid values. They don't cheat each other. Their word is their bond. They cherish the principles of fairness, equity, and justice. They don't sell their votes. They respect leaders who have come from amongst them, even if they worked in McDonald's. This is the same reason why Jesus Christ walked the face of the earth, so he could show us a real-life model of citizenship and leadership. He obeyed the laws of the land and sought to correct social injustice, and inequalities by preaching love. Love your neighbors as yourself. Love will ultimately balance everything. Love will erase all inequities. Love will mitigate against all evils. This was his cardinal message to us, that society should be built on the value system of love. He preached it, he lived it, and he walked it. This is the kind of leadership we should follow. This is the kind of citizenship we should emulate. Do you really want to know why the McDonald's background matters to the Americans? Let me show you in the Bible. For we have not an high priest which cannot be touched with the feeling of our infirmities, but was in all points tempted, like as we are, yet without sin. For we don't have a leader who did not go through what we are going through. For we don't have a leader who has not experienced lack. For we don't have a leader who has not experienced temptation. For we don't have a leader who has not struggled with tuition. For we don't have a leader who has not struggled with house rent. For we don't have a high priest who has not faced obstacles. We don't have a leader who has not worked in the same McDonald's we are working in. Jesus Christ experienced all challenges known to man, so that man may come boldly before the throne of grace to obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need. Do you now understand what a McDonald's background means to the Americans? Any president who has had that background will never let his people suffer while he buys a new jet. He will never buy new SUVs for the National Assembly members while the people are suffering. He will never take away subsidy from the people while he gets free fuel and power. My daughter Iji said to me yesterday that without rain, there will be no rainbow. Without Buhari and Tinubu, Nigerians won't cry to God. After the death of Pharaoh, the Bible says the Israelites heaved a sigh of relief because of their bondage. After Buhari left, Nigerians heaved a sigh of relief because of their bondage. But the new Pharaoh was worse, and he increased the taxes and hardship of the Israelites. And Tinubu was worse because he has removed subsidy and increased taxes and our hardship. And all the Israelites cried to God, and their cries reached God. And thus, their turnaround started. And all Nigerians did what? Are we all crying to God? No. How can? Some people are still making money. Corruption is thriving. Yahoo is thriving. Kidnapping is thriving. Prostitution is thriving. Evil is thriving. So why will all the people turn to God? But just you wait and see. Soon, and very soon, we'll all cry to God for help. Rich and poor will cry to God. Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba will call on God. Educated and uneducated will call on God. Soon, and very soon, this will happen. And then our turnaround will start. But until then, fasten your seatbelts and enjoy the ride. God bless you all.